Have you ever walked into a room and felt the world pause not because of what you're wearing? Not because you're dazzling with makeup or jewelry, but simply because you exist and in that brief, almost imperceptible instant. Every eye turns, every conversation slows, every heartbeat tilts slightly toward you. That is the secret of calm women, the hidden power that beauty alone can never buy. And once you recognize it, you will never see influence the same way again. I first felt it one rainy evening at a private rooftop soiree. Umbrellas dripping with soft silver raindrops. The city lights twinkling like tiny, obedient stars. When she arrived, she didn't announce herself. There was no dramatic entrance. She simply walked. Slow, deliberate, posture perfectly relaxed yet commanding. Eyes scanning softly, but with quiet curiosity. And the energy shifted. Men leaned subtly toward her. Women paused mid-laughter. Strangers glanced over, drawn by something unspoken, yet unmistakably magnetic. And in that moment, I realized, power is not in flashing. It is in stillness. Beauty grabs the eye. Yes, but stillness anchors the soul, the mind, the space, and people cannot resist aligning themselves to it. I remember countless occasions, boardrooms, coffee shops, social gatherings where I merely paused at a doorway, tilted my chin just slightly, allowed my gaze to linger, and the room unconsciously reshaped itself around my energy. People's attention stretched and bent like I was the axis of a hidden gravitational field. Not because I demanded it, not because I forced it, but because I inhabited my own calm authority. And the law of human perception obeyed instinctively. Calm women understand something most never even notice. Humans follow energy, not words. They respond to presence, not performance. And that presence is unshakable, poised, luxurious presences far more magnetic than beauty alone, far more unforgettable than charm or flash ever could be. A subtle smile, a soft pause, a deliberate exhaliach is a psychological trigger, a whisper that communicates value, composure, and untouchable power. It's philosophy in action. Lao Tzu once said, "Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power." And it is precisely in stillness that mastery of self manifests. Quietly, irresistibly, commanding the world to orbit your rhythm without you ever uttering a demand. Softness is not weakness. Silence is not emptiness. Stillness is a form of strategic dominance that the confident woman wields like a queen with a scepter made of quiet authority. And it is lethal in its elegance. I remember a dinner party in Manhattan. Chandeliers dripping crystal light, influencers vying for attention, and I simply leaned back in a velvet armchair, hands resting lightly on the table, breathing slowly, eyes flicking with faint amusement as conversations swirled around me. No words, no forced charm, yet every single person subtly oriented themselves toward me, energy drawn in like moths to flame. The psychological secret is fascinating. When you are calm, unshakable, composed, your energy signals dominance, mastery, and security without needing to assert anything overtly. It's why some women can sit quietly in Zara and own the room more than another in full designer glamour. Because stillness is inherently commanding. It is subtle, invisible, seductive, magnetic, and it's not just about drawing attention. It's about directing energy. On dates, in negotiations, in professional spaces, your calmness dictates tempo, a slow smile, a measured pause before answering a question, a subtle tilt of the head. These are the micro hacks that bend interactions to your favor. People start projecting, leaning in, offering, chasing, aligning themselves to you, all without you saying a word. It's elegance with teeth. It's subtle dominance wrapped in velvet. I recall a luxury networking event where I barely spoke for 20 minutes, letting others fill the conversational space, laughing only when it felt earned, listening with deliberate curiosity. And by the end, people were vying for my attention, intrigued, fascinated, captivated. The room itself mirrored my calm energy. That is soft power. That is stillness mastery. and it is infinitely more lasting and profound than superficial beauty. The most intoxicating women I know are not the loudest, the flashiest, or the most overtly glamorously are the ones who can sit, breathe, and let the world chase them, because their stillness radiates authority, value, and irresistible allure. And here's the ultimate secret. Stillness is a lifestyle, not a tactic. It's anchoring yourself in your energy, your rhythm, your presence at all times, whether sipping coffee in a cafe, walking through a park, or sitting at a boardroom table. Every movement, every pause, every inflection is deliberate yet effortless. I remember a quiet afternoon, sunlight spilling through a garden patio, birds fluttering softly, and I simply let my gaze drift over the scene, interacting only when necessary, letting curiosity and gentle amusement guide my expressions. People leaned in, offered stories, mirrored my calm, and sought my attention, all without my conscious effort because stillness is magnetic, commanding, and utterly sovereign. This is the art of feminine mastery, soft power, invisible dominance, and the kind of allure that makes people pause, wonder, and respect without a word. Comment your biggest takeaway. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and practice this every day. Because once you inhabit stillness fully, you realize that power doesn't need to shout, charm doesn't need to scream, and beauty, while admired, fades but calm authority never does. Step into it, breathe it, move like velvet through the world, own every space you enter, and let the subtle gravity of your presence command respect, admiration, and fascination. And when people ask how you do it, smile softly, because they've just glimpsed the power of a woman who knows her worth. A woman whose calm radiates more than any beauty ever could. A queen whose presence is the ultimate luxury, and that, my sisters, is priceless, eternal, and irresistibly magnetic. And let me take you even further, because this is where the magic truly lives, where stillness stops being just a tactic and becomes an internalized lifestyle, a rhythm of existence that radiates without effort, a language of power that everyone instinctively reads and obeys. You see, calm women do not compete. They exist, and their very presence commands the room without a single word. I remember a rooftop gala in New York, chandeliers dripping golden light onto marble floors, the chatter of elites swirling like a river, and I simply paused at the entrance, shoulders relaxed, eyes scanning just enough to acknowledge, just enough to invite but nothing more. In that instant, every conversation slowed, every glance subtly shifted toward me, and I didn't speak a word. I didn't need to, because stillness speaks louder than any performance. It communicates mastery, confidence, value, and unshakable composure. And the psychological trick here is beautiful in its simplicity. Humans are wired to follow energy, not words. They notice tone, rhythm, posture, and pause more than clothing, makeup, or accessories. They lean toward presence, and the calm woman radiates it effortlessly. Every subtle breath, every slow smile, every measured gesture is a magnet, pulling attention and curiosity like a gravitational force. And the most intoxicating part, people try to decode it. They wonder how someone can be so alluring, so in command, so untouchable while saying so little. That curiosity fuels admiration, desire, and respect. I've seen it happen countless times in cafes, boardrooms, networking events, even casual social gatherings. You pause, you breathe, you inhabit your own energy fully, and suddenly the room orients itself around you. This is soft power in its purest form, and it is far more lasting and profound than beauty alone, which fades, distracts, or competes. Calm women leave impressions that linger, impressions that others subconsciously chase, because they are anchored in energy that is sovereign, confident, and magnetic. Now, imagine combining that stillness with intentional energy management, art of knowing exactly when to speak, when to pause, when to let silence hum in the room like a symphony, when to smile, when to tilt your head with curiosity, I remember a private dinner where I spoke fewer than 10 sentences. Yet by the end, the men and women around me were completely absorbed, leaning in, subtly mirroring my gestures, following the rhythm I set without me consciously guiding them. This is not manipulation, it's influence. It's the invisible choreography of human attention, the dance that calm women master instinctively, the language of magnetic energy that communicates. I am in control. I am valued. I am untouchable. And here's the philosophical twist. Quiet authority, when layered with warmth and subtle invitation, becomes irresistible. Nietzsche's words echo here. Invisible threads are the strongest ties. The calm woman does not fight for attention. She becomes the anchor of it. Her pauses are intentional. Her gestures are deliberate. Her presence is a quiet proclamation that says, I am here. I am sovereign. And the world unconsciously, instinctively aligns itself to me. It's a paradox. Power is in letting go. Strength in softness. Dominance in gentle composure. And the women who master this art are the ones men and women alike remember, admire, and crave, not because of appearance, not because of performance, but because of their magnetic, untouchable energy. And let's go deeper, my sisters, because this is where true mastery becomes a lifestyle. Stillness is not reserved for stages, parties, or boardrooms. It's in your morning coffee ritual, in your walk through the park, in a subtle glance across a virtual meeting, in a gentle laugh with friends, in the way you hold your body while waiting in line. Each micro movement, each carefully timed pause, each soft smile or slow exhale is a declaration of value, a signal of composure, a gravitational pull that others cannot resist. Imagine walking into a room and the energy subtly bending around you, like a river conforming to a stone, every eye drawn to your rhythm, every person instinctively aware of your presence. That is the luxury of soft power, the quiet majesty of calm authority, the ultimate feminine mastery. Comment your biggest takeaway. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and practice this every single day. Start small. Notice your breath. Slow your gestures. Hold your gaze just a fraction longer. Allow your energy to fill the space without demanding it. And as you do, you will notice it. People lean in. Conversations pause. Invitations arrive. Attention becomes effortless. Respect automatic. That is the secret stillness delivers. It is invisible, intoxicating, and infinitely more powerful than beauty alone. So step into it. Own it. Breathe it into your life, because once you do, you will understand the truth that calm women have always known. The world obeys the energy you inhabit. Admiration flows to those who refuse to chase it. And true power does not shout, it whispers, lingers, and shapes reality without ever needing to compete. And when they ask you how, smile softly, because they've just witnessed the quiet gravity of a woman who knows her worth. A woman whose calm is more potent than any beauty, whose stillness is a luxury everyone desires, and whose presence leaves an imprint that lasts far longer than fleeting glamour or loud performances. That, my sisters, is priceless, eternal, and irresistibly magnetic.